Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf here in the tour van at Second Swing Minnetonka, joined by Jake Montgomery, master club fitter and fitting manager at the Minneapolis store. And you've got a couple drivers there, Jake. We're gonna kind of, a fun sort of old versus new in terms of the drivers. We've got Callaway drivers, Paradym AI Smoke, which is the 2024 model, and the Epic Flash, which is, I believe, 2019. So I think it's 5 years, basically, 5 years of technology that we're looking at here. What have you seen? Let's start with Epic Flash. What have you seen just like in used, working with golfers, maybe trying at this point to save a buck or two by getting some older used but still has a ton of performance? What have you seen from it?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite drivers under $300, honestly. You still see a lot of forgiveness for toe and heel shots. Ball speed doesn't drop off too much, but when you hit this thing out of the center, it really goes a long way. It's pretty low spin, very fast ball speed, and it kind of offers a shaping that people are kind of used to as well. Callaway hasn't changed too much through the years, at least the last 8 or so. So it still looks very much like a modern day driver. It performs like one, just at a lower price point.
Yeah, and the Epic Flash is actually kind of the sort of introduction, I guess, to Callaway, using their artificial intelligence into the design of the golf clubs. They had the AI Flash face, I believe, is kind of what the Flash comes from, an Epic Flash.
Yes.
So the design of the club face, again, using their supercomputer for the iterations of the club face to find the best one that works. This is kind of the introduction of that, and obviously now with the Paradym AI Smoke, it's been optimized and evolved over the last 5 years, and we now have the AI Smart Face in the Paradym AI Smoke. And so now, in terms of new driver fittings for this year with the AI Smoke, what have you seen out of that?
Yeah, so I mean, this one I would say across the board, it's been one of the most forgiving drivers that we've tested. The AI Smart Face really works. You see a lot less of those kind of toe hooks off the toe and those kind of squirters off the heel. It's far more forgiving off of those kind of off-center misstrikes than they were, let's say, 2 years ago. The 360 carbon chassis helps with that as well. More carbon you have, the more you can kind of displace the weight. Now a lot of it is kind of back and low away from the club face, which helps raise your launch, lower your spin, and just, again, kind of increase the MOI of the head and make it more forgiving.
Sure, yeah. So today we've got Epic Flash, AI Smoke. We're going to use the same shaft. What shaft are we going to use?
We are going to use the TR Blue 6X from Ventus.
Okay. So is that something you game or something close to it?
I use the TR Red, but I've kind of been experimenting with this one. So.
Okay. All right. So a little bit of maybe a test for yourself here too. So AI Smoke, Paradym AI Smoke Max versus Epic Flash. Let's hit some shots.
Let's do it.
All right, first swing with the Epic Flash. I have a takeaway right away, and that is that the sound is different than the drivers that I feel like we've been hitting in 2024. The 2024 drivers. It's very loud.
I would say audio tuning has definitely come a long way.
Yes.
That's something that Ping has kind of learned along the road as well. Drivers are in a very good spot as far as kind of the sound coming off the face now.
It's just, that was not what I was expecting, I guess. Okay. Interesting. That is a dead straight heel shot.
Yeah. The heel
now, distance definitely came down some.
Yes.
Which is to be expected. I'm actually surprised at how low the spin stayed, though.
100%.
Pretty good.
That felt very heely. I was expecting that to be over 3,000.
Yeah, just on the off chance it picked up hip impact. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's a little better.
Yeah, there's some higher ball speed on this one. Oh, yeah. Turned over a hair, but still really good out there. What are you noticing feel-wise? Like, I know what do you play? You currently, as of this recording, is you play GT?
GT, yep.
Okay.
I would say the face feels pretty firm.
Okay.
Like the Titleist driver has one of the firmest faces out there, but it doesn't feel like it. When you hit it out the middle, it does feel pretty soft. This one across the board, even the ones, I mean, I can tell when I hit it well, but it still feels a little harsher. Might be a little left again. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit left. A little bit low launching on that one, too.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a little low face, maybe. Just because the spin was also kind of, I mean, a little bit high, but didn't pick up the location.
It really just was my face angle was a little more shut than it should have been relative to my path. But, that's my miss. I see that all the time.
You know what? That's probably fine on the golf course based on what I'm seeing here,
Yeah. That should be a little, maybe a push draw.
That would hit well for sure.
Yeah, I caught it very good.
Yeah, 148 smash, just a slight, kind of maybe a correction from the last shot,
Definitely.
but it's still, you hit it 125 feet in the air. Kind of different, two different shots really. But
yeah.
Okay, so we've got some numbers. Epic Flash here. Do you have any other comments first on kind of like the feel and I know we talked about it already, but you firmer feel. Anything else looks maybe?
I mean, look-wise, like I said in the intro, it looks like a traditional Callaway. It's got the kind of similar shaping as far as the face meets into kind of the toe and the heel end there. You see a little bit of the carbon right here, whereas like it's almost like it just kind of keeps growing and growing and growing model to model. So now we got that 360 chassis where most of the head is made out of carbon. I would say it was very responsive on the feel. Like I could definitely tell where I was hitting it across the face, which a lot of players do look for.
Okay. Yeah. One thing we should note here too. So this is the total distance. This is actually that one heel ball that went like dead straight.
Yeah.
Remember that? And then we had, this is kind of that last one there too, where you kind of hit that off the heel with a little closed face maybe and went left. But you're getting really good distance and height out of these other shots as well. So the average in totality here was 23.29 spin, 11.5 on the launch. We got 288.4 on the total. And again, this is, maybe a couple of not your best swings in there, but 3 really good ones from the looks of it as well.
I mean, it performed kind of like I thought. Did pretty good on ball speed. Like you said, I didn't hit this the best, but still 146 on the smash factor. Spin rate under 2,400, which is right where I want it to be. Launch at 11.5. Peak height looks good. Landing was in a pretty good spot. I mean, it performed very well, especially for, again, being about 5 years old.
Right, yeah. It's still a very good option, and we obviously have the selection of second swing as well. So, all right, now let's compare it to the Paradym AI Smoke Max, so the 2024 version basically of that driver.
Let's do it.
Right off the bat,
Take that
smash
start.
factor 147. A little low launch, low spin. Would you say typically when you are on the golf course, are most shots probably say lower than 100 feet, or
I'd say it depends on the day.
Okay.
I find that for some reason I swing a little more into out in here than I do outside.
Oh.
Which the more you swing into out, the lower your dynamic loft gets, the lower your height's going to be. So I actually kind of did a fitting for myself a month ago and found in here I was kind of swinging more like normal with my gamer. I was actually hitting it like 130 feet in the air. So I lowered the loft down a little bit because I'm so used to seeing it low in here that I bumped it up. But seeing that shot indoors is pretty typical for me.
Yeah, it is odd. And this is why we have a 30-day play guarantee, is because there are golfers that's, it can be an environment, it can be a mental thing, swing a little bit differently in here on a mat versus outside. And so that's why when you get fit for clubs, you can go play them outside for 30 days and try them out, and then maybe it's completely different for you, which happens sometimes. And then you come back in and update the fitting. But I just was curious on that, because that's a tee shot right there that I think there's probably some optimization we could do in a fitting with that to increase that carry distance. But it's also a shot you're going to take every time.
Oh, for sure. Now we got some more head on it.
Yep. Oh, that's really good.
There we go.
Yeah, 147 smash, 2049 spin.
That would very high in the face. That's why it launched so high.
Yeah.
But that AI Smart Face kept the smash factor at 147.
Yeah.
See,
Because typically when you go high on the face, you definitely, it comes off a little more dead.
Yes.
But because the spin stays down on those shots, it typically ends up okay, out there. But to see that still at 147 is really good.
Yeah, 100%. I was expecting that to be closer to like 145.
Yeah.
I will say for me, there's something about this driver that's just a little bit more confidence inspiring. Could be that it's just a little quieter head overall, kind of with the gray kind of one-tone
There isn't
carbon.
any lines or anything on there like the Epic
100%.
Flash.
This one just looks a little easier for me to square up. Kind of did the same thing again.
Another good one.
Still just going.
Interesting. The smash went down a little bit there, but it's still, you're still getting plenty of distance out of it. I'd be curious to talk to a Callaway, R&D person about, because a couple years ago we were talking off camera about it, but like the switch away from jailbreak.
Yes.
So the Epic Flash driver has jailbreak. They modified it to be the jailbreak like velocity blades, I think in the Rogue ST maybe it was. And now they don't have really any jailbreak in there. AI SmartFace is kind of assuming all of that responsibility, I guess you could put.
Yes, I mean, the reason they had jailbreak in there was really just kind of reinforce the face so they can make it thinner, make it hotter.
Yeah.
And they found that with the 360 chassis and the new AI SmartFace, they just didn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
They were able to make it firm and fast enough without kind of including that, which then gave them more discretionary weight to pull back away from the head, increase forgiveness.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's interesting because that and jailbreak was so successful for them with some of those past drivers, including Epic Flash. So, but obviously the AI SmartFace is doing its job too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take that all day.
There's another one of the. I mean, I can see your smash factor went down again. So these last 2 drives, you really haven't put the best out. What hasn't been center face contact.
No.
But you're still seeing the distance go way out there.
So the biggest thing for me is that spin rate is so much lower.
Yeah, the spin rate's lower. Look at this. Okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, dispersion got a little tighter.
So you got a pretty similar in terms of the overall shape, but I mean, you have 3 of your straightest tee shots right here.
Yep.
And then also of note that I see here, I'm going to bring up the carry as well. Okay, there's the carry, which makes sense with those kind of left ones, but
for sure.
We see your baseline distance is definitely farther up the map, right, with the AI Smoke Max. So, all right, let's kind of dive into these numbers here a little bit, just see what we're working with. You know, it's pretty similar. I mean, look at the carry distance is almost the same, total is almost the same, but one thing we should note is it's actually, this is kind of a cool little tell here. You swung the AI Smoke Max slower.
I did.
So the ball speed was a little bit down. But the smash factor is the same.
Yep. Spin rate was
so spin rate lower though, which gave you a little bit more distance on the end of it. And I guess, you felt like a couple of those swings with the AI Smoke were
I could tell this was more forgiving.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say I made better contact, honestly, with the Epic Flash than I did with this. Okay. And I hit straighter, longer shots with lower spin with the AI Smoke. This also felt a lot softer off the face. Like the couple that I did hit in the middle, you could feel it in the feeling. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like you're hitting a marshmallow. It's like the ball's not even there.
Right.
Definitely felt that a lot more with the AI Smoke than I did with the Epic Flash. But I mean, I was still able to kind of feel when I wasn't quite hitting the center, like the couple high strikes that I had, I could tell right away.
Sure, yeah. And I also did, for what it's worth here, I kind of modified things to take out. You had the one, trap pull with each driver, and which you say is kind of a miss that you see on the golf course some. So I took out that miss, so to speak, and kind of focused on some of the, the 4 better shots. And you see that dispersion get a little bit tighter. You see, obviously, these, you have 2 that are almost on the center line. You have your kind of that one heel miss with the Epic Flash that's right down the middle. But you kind of see how things tighten together a little bit better. So
for sure. And it's not even just left to right; it's top to bottom as well. A lot less variance. From good shots to bad shots. That's
good. Yeah, great point as well. So I think it's almost like you can kind of see based on what this is showing us the advancement over time. For sure. Like your misses just shrink a little bit. Your target, your room for error, so to speak. It changes over time. So now your big miss, maybe your big right miss is obviously now it's 10 to 15 yards left of where it maybe was with the Epic Flash, which could be a big difference.
Definitely.
So I guess any other parting thoughts here? Epic Flash, again, this is a driver that was 2019. Paradigm AI Smoke Max is the 2024 version. Any other parting thoughts as we wrap up here today?
I mean, I think this is just kind of a great test to show that you can still get great ball speed and spin rates out of an older driver. The advancements we're really seeing in the last 5 years is that forgiveness on off-center strikes. They're finding so many ways to increase MOI, kind of add some topography to the face to really minimize those mishits. And I think it really showed up here today.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool display, really, to see the numbers, see the data, see the dispersion map, and how things have progressed over time. So Epic Flash, great driver from 5 years ago. We saw great ball speeds. We saw efficiency. We saw a really high smash factor. Even on that one heel strike in particular really impressed me. That kind of hit off the heel. It still went dead straight. You lost maybe 10 to 15 yards. But we also saw that dispersion shrink a little bit with AI Smoke. So both great options. Go get fit for your driver, whether you're looking for a brand new, something like Paradigm AI Smoke Max, or you want to save some money, pay maybe half of that. Epic Flash is going to be really good too. So Jake, thanks for joining today and hitting all the tee shots for us and giving us the insight.
Thanks for having me.